Start recording. And I can't see myself. Never had that before, but I think we're good. What did I do? I think we're good. Okay. All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. We are going to go ahead and get started. I'm just having a little bit of technical difficulties. I tried to do this backwards tonight, and I want to make sure that I can. Oh, there we go. Okay, here we go. I want to make sure you can see me in the screen because there's some things I'm going to share a little bit later. All right, so thank you for joining us. And tonight we are going over a really great class. It is I Have My Kit, Now What? So I don't know if you're like me. I actually went to 3 basics classes before I decided to join with a starter kit. And then when my kit finally did come, I was like, what do I do with this? I kind of was really overwhelmed. So this class is going to focus mostly on stuff that you already have. Want to make sure that you know how to use the things that you have, and it's just not sitting there in a box. So for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Kelly Karstens, and I've been using Young Living oils, gosh, I think about little over 2 years, little over 2 years. And my friend Sherry and I teamed up for the summer to offer a multitude of classes. So we're glad that you guys are watching and glad that you can join us. So if you have any questions afterwards, go ahead and shoot either one of us a question. We both would love to help you with anything that you need to know, get you connected with some resources. So just a reminder, if you haven't watched these classes yet, I do read from my notes. I have so much to tell you guys, and I want to make sure that I don't forget anything. So if you see me looking down, that's why. So, all right, we are going to go ahead and get started. So step 1, what's the very first thing that you should do? This seems like a no-brainer, but open the box, okay? Had some people that I've talked to, and they're like, oh yeah, that box is still in the garage. I haven't used it yet. You get all excited at the class, and then maybe you had to wait a week or so for your kit. There was a time it was a little bit even longer, so now we're doing great. I think they're about a week or less, but we want to open it, okay? There's so many things in here that we want to make sure that you know about, and some of the things are kind of hidden, so we're going to talk about those. So this is the starter kit, the current starter kit with the oil collection. There is a starter kit with the Thieves and the Ningxia, and they're just a little bit different. I think they still come with this box, but here you go. This is the one we want to make sure that we're going to go over tonight, okay? So, like I said, we're going to open the box. I just love this new package. It slips off so nice. It's so nice, and it's so pretty. It actually says on the side that it's from the Mona Farm, which is awesome. I just went to that one. So, watch the Seed to Seal class, and I talk a little bit more about that in depth. So, we're going to go ahead and open it up, and some of the most important parts are things that, you open it up and you're like, oh, I want to use the oils. I want to get going with the oils. But actually some of the really important things are right here in this little container. So we're going to go ahead and take that out because I really want to make sure that everybody knows all the goodness that's kind of hidden in that little spot. And I actually, when I got my kit, I was looking for something sometime later. Oh, I'm missing an oil. I wonder which one I don't have here. And I found some goodies underneath. So if you happen to have the old kit, this is what the old little membership kit was. Mine's really kind of banged up, but if you have the old one, you actually have to remove this piece. Okay, so you take this piece out, and there's all sorts of stuff underneath. I had no idea. For probably about 6 months, there's stuff under there that I didn't even know existed. So if you have this one, make sure you get your stuff out. I also didn't know there's directions for the roller fitment. Learned that one the hard way. We're going to go over that tonight too. But anyway, okay, so what's in the little slip there that we just took that stuff out? There's all sorts of goodies. So the first thing is a welcome letter. So this one starts with Dear New Young Living Member. This is written by Mary and Gary and just kind of goes back by welcome, a little bit about Seed to Seal, the research. And then it continues on the back, okay? This is really important. There's directions here on how to use a roller ball. I'm going to give you a demo of that later, but I didn't even know that was on the back of that. I found that today. So I'm learning something when I'm doing these classes too, for sure. And then there is, oh gosh, I left out something. There is the essential oils at a glance. So this is really neat. This gives you a little bit about the oils that are in the starter kit, tells you which ones are topical and aromatic and which ones are dietary. Now, my kit that I have was prior to the Vitality oils. Okay, so mine doesn't have any Vitality oils in it, so some of these are dietary, and now we have Vitality oils for that, so kind of keep that in mind. But then the really cool thing is, if you didn't know, Young Living has five flex oils. Okay, so what was happening was, because the oils and the products come from Mother Nature, there was things that were in our previous starter kits that every once in a while would go out of stock, and people would have to wait on their starter kit. So they decided, when they redesigned the new starter kit, to pick 5 flex oils, and in the event that anything would ever go out of stock, so like lavender, I hope lavender wouldn't go out of stock, and we just had a harvest, so probably not, but let's say lavender would go out of stock, they would substitute it with one of these flex oils, okay? So there's information about the flex oils should you get one of those in your kit. It hasn't happened very often. But the cool thing is that you have a little education on 5 more oils. And for the most part, most of these I would actually recommend are pretty good ones to get next. Then it has a little bit about Ningxia Red, a little bit about how to use the oils aromatically, dietary, topically, and dilution as well. So this is a really good resource that's already in your kit for you that lots of people don't know about. And then we'll talk a little bit more about this later, but Young Living's sharing initiative is Love It, Share It, which that's what I did. I loved it, and then it just kind of started talking about it at work. I had a coworker that I was like, here, please, use my stress away. And that's kind of how I kind of fell into the business side. It wasn't anything I was looking for. But anyway, so this is here, the Love It, Share It, tells you a little bit more about that. But this is the really cool thing that's in here, okay? So if I am lucky enough to sign somebody up one-on-one and I have a kit on hand, I make sure that they grab their roadmap, okay? So this is really cool. It shows us the farms that Young Living owns around the world. And it also kind of shows you just a little bit of a roadmap of what to start with. So getting started, then we're going to look at social media, Young Living University, so you can kind of follow that around. On the back, it gives you a little bit more information about all those things, but this is the highlight right here, right down in the corner, okay? There's a spot for you to write down your member number, your distributor ID, which is the same thing, okay? So sometimes those are a little interchangeable, so wanted to make sure you know that those are the same thing. Your PIN number, that's a 4-digit number that you create when you make your account. That's really important to know, because when you call in to customer service, they're going to ask your PIN number to verify that it's really you. If you're on my team and I happen to have to call in and check on something for you, which sometimes I have to call and check on something for myself, so if somebody needs something, I'll just say, oh, I'll call for you or whatnot if it's kind of complicated, something like that, or I'm just trying to be helpful. If I have your PIN number, then I can call for you and check on some things. So make sure you know your PIN number, first of all, so you can do things. And make sure, if you want to, go ahead and share it with your upline. If that's me or Sherry, I keep track of those, and I really like to have those information. So your username is the username you created for the virtual office. When you get to sign into the virtual office, you can actually use your member number or your username. So either or, if you forget, your password. This is your password to log in, okay? So you want to make sure. The reason I like having this is it might be a while before you decide to order something else. I know I joined in April and I didn't order anything else until August. I didn't have to replace any of my oils until then. And then that was like, I think I bought V6 and maybe lavender. But by that time I forgot what my password was. So that's why I like to write it down here, and then you can slip it back in that little spot in your kit and you have it all right there. All right. And then your sponsor, their contact information. So if I enrolled you and I'm your sponsor and you don't know me or don't know how to get a hold of me easily, first of all, I usually send you a welcome email and get you in my Facebook group so you can hopefully get a hold of me there. But it's just great to have that all in one spot, all in one little spot. So when you run out of something, you're looking at your box and you're like, oh yeah, I have that information. written down. So there's just, like I said, a wealth of information here that I forgot. I didn't even know it was there in my first kit. There's also a paper enrollment. If somebody were to enroll, this is the paper form. We don't use these very often anymore, but if you happen to be with somebody, you don't have a computer and they want to sign up, you can actually use this paper form. So that's in there as well. Okay, now we're through all the paperwork. Okay, so what's next? Oh my gosh, so we know about the oils. And another thing I want to tell you about that's super cool with this kit is on the back, there's a little, you can pop these little things out here, and then you just pop this down, and you have yourself a nice little display case. Okay, you can set this on your counter, wherever you're going to use it. Let's say you're maybe like going to share it with somebody else and you want to have a class, you can just have this little spot to set out. It's really cute. Nice on the table. Our bottles are like all over, so I should totally use that. But don't forget about the goodies on the bottom. This is just so awesome what Young Living did with this new kit. There's so many great things in here. Mine's kind of fallen all over. So we have the little sample sachets. Don't forget about these. These are great to keep in your purse. That way you don't have to have a bunch of bottles running around with you. They're also really great to share with. And then you also have your 2 packets in Ink Charade. We're going to talk about that later. But this is what's really, really cool that I love in the starter kit now. We've got these little cards. So you get your kit, you're starting to use some things, and maybe somebody's like, what is this weird oil stuff you're talking about? I want to try some of that. But you feel like you just don't know very much about it. You don't know what to tell them. There's these cool little cards. We've got some for lavender, Panaway, frankincense, and thieves, I believe. And then it comes with these little bottles, the little sample bottles. So you just put some drops of oil in the sample bottle, and they actually fit right here. There's a little hole in this, and you can just put the bottle and then put the cap on top of it so it's all one, so the person has it right there. So it's a no-brainer. You don't have to study anything. You don't have to be an expert. You could literally get your kit and say, here, have a sample of lavender on me. So that's really cool. So again, don't forget about the goodies in the bottom. There's lots of neat stuff down there. And then you also get a roller ball. And I'm going to demo this later so you know how to use this. I just sent one to a friend, and I sent her instructions, and she sent me a message. She's like, how does this work? And so I'm like, did you read the instructions? Well, yeah. But I talked her through it. So we're going to go through, and I'm going to demo that for you a little bit later. So that's all the goodies on the bottom. Don't want to forget about those. Then we want to know how to log into the virtual office. There are so many resources there that are free for you. Absolutely free. You can get there 24 hours a day. They're always adding new things as well. So you're going to go to youngliving.com, and if you can see this over on the left, you can see the little green up in the right-hand corner where it says sign in by the little shopping cart. That's where you're going to sign into your account. Okay, so when you go to reorder, you don't have to come to me. You don't have to go to Sherry. You just go in. You can order whenever you want to, pay for it however you want to, and send it wherever you want. You can even send it to a friend, okay? Then on the right, this is what's going to come up next, okay? This sign-in screen, and that's going to be your username or your member number, which remember, we're going to write on our roadmap so you have that really easily available, and then your password, okay? Now, some of you might have been around before we had the new virtual office, okay? And underneath it is log into the classic virtual office. I've had a couple people who, you know, if they started with the classic virtual office and now they're trying to get into the new one, we just call customer service and have them reset it. That seemed to be the easiest because there's a lot of really good resources in the new virtual office that aren't available in the old one. So we want to make sure that you're in the new one so you can get all the things. And I think eventually the old one is going to be going away. So we want to make sure we get you over to the new one. All right. So when you're in the virtual office, over here on the left is all of the different things that we have available. Okay. So just a second. I'm trying to switch this around so I can see myself. And that was not what I wanted to do. Nope. That's not what I wanted to do either. Sorry, guys. Okay, we're gonna go back to here. Okay, so over on the left where you see where it says My Account, if you just click on My Account, it's gonna show you who your sponsor, who your enroller is. This is actually mine. And then it's going to tell you at different ranks in Young Living who those people are above you. Okay, so it's going to show you your sponsor and your enroller. And then it's also going to show you who your nearest silver is. All right, so let's say you're on my team, but I didn't sponsor you. There's maybe a couple people in between us. I'm not a silver yet. So my name might not even show up there for you. Okay, so, but just know you can reach out to me, absolutely. But these are people in leadership levels that are there to help you, and you can just click right on there, and that's how you get a hold of them. So it's going to show you your silver and then your diamond as well. Okay, so Developing Wellness, that's Britta Demler, that's my diamond. And then you can also call customer service, and they'll tell you all the way up to the top. And in my Facebook group, in the Faithful Drops Facebook group, I have a file that says, who can I go to for help? And it actually lists all the way up to the very first person of all the people that were in their downline. So that's really cool. Okay, why are we not moving? There we go. All right, also in the virtual office, when you log in, you're on the dashboard, this getting started, there's all sorts of videos, things you can do in your first 7 days, different websites to go to, which we'll touch on some of those later, but as you can see, at the time I took this picture, I was only at 41%. That's because I had done some of the things in the old virtual office and then didn't repeat them in the new one. But I assure you, I've probably read everything that's in there because that's just me. But you can do it as your leisure, you know. When you get started, maybe have a question or have a little bit of downtime, maybe you're traveling or something like that, you can start kind of researching a little bit more. So one other really cool thing that's in virtual office is Young Living University. All right, and you can kind of catch where this is going, but this actually came out last March, and it's a free series of courses designed to help you understand the production of oils, develop product expertise, and build confidence as you improve your skills using the oils. They're broken up into segments. There's different ones. Right now, they currently have essential oils basics, usage, extraction, and then for the everyday oils, they have using oils in the home. And as you can see here, this is using oils on the go, which included the gym. I did a class just about using oils at the gym, so I included that there. And then they're also working on an opportunity one, so that would be sharing Young Living, success training, and leader tips. So check that out. They're working to add more things. I went to a class at convention, a breakout session, and they talked about kind of the future of Young Living University and how they're really going to work to beef that up here coming. So make sure you're checking that out. All right, resource material. So if you haven't already, we did a full class on resource material. So go and watch that. It's on the YouTube channel. You can just Google on YouTube, Faithful Drops, FITHFULL, 2 L's. And I have a whole class on resource material. So maybe your upline or your sponsor gave you some resource material. Maybe you got some information of places that you can get that, but make sure you're really using that. And these are from third parties, from companies outside of Young Living that are just have extra, recipes or make and take items or do it yourself or something like that. All right. Sorry, guys. I am going to send one quick text because I forgot to bring myself I forgot to bring a product guide. And I want to show that to you, so I'm texting my husband, so hopefully he'll bring one into me. Okay, so resource materials, like I said, watch the YouTube class. If you have any questions, get to your upline and ask them. Whoever sponsored you, whoever shared Young Living with you, ask them just kind of what stuff do they use, Maybe they can send you some websites of information, and it'll be personal to each person what you're interested in. All right, now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. So this is not going to be as in-depth as a class, okay, as your Basics 101. Most of the time, if you're listening to this class, you've already been to a 101, maybe even opened your oils, maybe used a little bit. I just want to give you a helpful reminder of one way to use each one of the oils. We're not going to be, like I said, really in-depth, but just a helpful hint because we really want to make sure you're using these. You invested in them. You had a health goal when you decided to start using them, so we want to make sure that you're getting the benefit of the Young Living lifestyle. So Vitality, as I said before, my kit was before the Vitality oils, but In order to stay with compliance and the labeling laws, Young Living decided to create the Vitality oils, or the Vitality line. So basically, we've got lemon and lemon Vitality here in the picture. So lemon, when it's got the color label on it, like that, that is labeled, okay, so it's just in how these are labeled. This is labeled for topical and aromatic use. So that means I can put it on my skin, maybe diluted, or I can put it in the diffuser. I can breathe it in from the bottle straight like that. Oh, I love lemon. And the Vitality is used for internal, okay? If you look at the ingredients of lemon, it's lemon. If you look at the ingredients of lemon Vitality, it's still lemon, okay? So same quality ingredients, you can compare them side to side, but they are labeled for different use. So that way there's a different number when you go to buy them. One of the great things about the Vitality line is that now we have some things available in 5 ml that we didn't have before. Like you couldn't buy peppermint before in a 5 ml. You had to buy a 15 ml if you wanted to replace it. Well, now you can just get a 5 ml. So that's really cool. So you can, you know, save a little bit of money that way. Or something maybe that's more expensive, like you need to replace your frankincense. There's a frankincense Vitality and they're probably about half price. So you are getting a better bang for your buck if you're buying the 15 ml, just because of the bottling costs and that kind of thing. But, you know, if you're on a budget or you just want to try something, it's a great way just to start. So peppermint, oh my gosh, peppermint is one of my absolute favorite. All right, and I'm super glad that peppermint, now before it used to, just a second. Sorry guys, my husband's like, I can't find it. Hopefully he can find one. So under papers. I don't want to leave you guys just to go get that. Should have brought one with me. Okay, peppermint. I'm super glad that we're back to topical and aromatic for the regular peppermint, because one of my favorite ways to use peppermint is just a drop on my hand. Come on. All right, drop on my hand, and we're just gonna go ahead and swirl it around. Smell it in. That's all you need. You know how potent it is. Make sure you avoid your eyes, but you can be like, woo, I really smell that. Yep, we're gonna have a little oil intervention here. So might rub it on the back of our neck, especially this time of year, it's really hot. Oh, and here we go. My dog wanted to come too with the product guide. So this is really great for those of you guys who are in Iowa. We're in the summer heat. So this is great to have around. As you can feel, it's very refreshing to the skin. So that's what I like it for. My dog loves to sit outside, so he's an oily dog during the day when it's hot, so he won't come in, but he'll let me put peppermint on him. So he enjoys that on his skin, likes the aroma. And then the peppermint Vitality, I can put that in his water. So you can just, that's a really simple way to use it. If you haven't used anything in your water or cooking, one little trick for you is that, especially the peppermint is really strong. My husband put a drop in his coffee once and had to throw the whole thing out. So you see the little hole there? We just take a toothpick, put it right in the hole and take it out, and then you're gonna swirl that in your water. Okay, so just swirl that toothpick in here and taste that and see how it is for strength. If you wanna add more, that's fine, but sometimes if you're trying to just drop like 1 drop, sometimes you end up with 3, and it might be way too strong for you. So that's a really great tip, just to use that toothpick. Okay, so moving on, like I said, we're just gonna do 1 or 2 tips for each one of these. Lavender. Oh, okay, so after I got to visit the Mona farm, I'm more in love with lavender than I was before, if that's even possible. Lavender was the very first oil that we had to replace, which surprises me because we used purification a lot. But lavender is just so versatile. We call it the Swiss Army knife of oils. So for the most part, if you don't know what to use, start with lavender. And also, one of the things, especially since we're talking about what you already have in your kit, you know, you might look in your resource material and think, oh my gosh, I have to get this one oil and it's out of stock. Oh no. Or maybe it's really expensive. But more than likely, there's probably something that you have in your starter kit that you can use. So start with lavender and work your way and just, you know, use what you have. So one really great way to use lavender is to make a pillow spray. So I have just a little glass bottle like this, and just put a little pinch of sea salt in there. Kind of helps the oils dissolve in the water a little bit so they don't sit on top. Fill it with distilled water, and you can spray that right on your pillow. You can put it on a child's stuffed animal or their blanket, something like that. That's a really great way to use it. Another way, we put it on our wool dryer balls, okay? So especially when I'm drying the sheets, we don't use fabric softener sheets anymore, but we have wool dryer balls, and I just put a drop or two on there. So just a great way to use lavender. One kind of helpful hint with lavender, I've had this question come up, and sometimes it smells different. And it does, and it's gonna happen like that. If the lavender smelled the same every single time, every bottle of lavender that you open from Young Living, we'd start to get worried about that, actually. You know, the sun is different, the harvest is different, the soil is different. So there's different variations, and it might smell a little bit different. That's okay, it's still great. But just if that happens and a bottle smells a little bit off, you can leave the cap open just for a little bit, and you know, for like an hour or so, put the cap back on, and then it might smell a little bit closer to what you're thinking. But you know, if you don't like the smell of something, we're gonna put it on the bottom of our feet, because then you don't have to smell it, and that's a great way. You've got really big pores there, so that's a great place to put it if you're gonna use it topical. Lemon, like I said, we love lemon. Lemon is one, my husband puts lemon vitality in his water. So like I said, when we started, we used that toothpick trick, kind of swirled it around. Now he'll just put a drop in. He puts a drop sometimes in his Ningxia, but it's really great. And then our lemon topical or aromatic, lemon is very, very gentle, okay? So it's good for kids. On some things, you know, if you don't want to use a stronger oil, lemon would be a great one to use diluted. One of the things we want to remember about our citrus oils is that they are photosensitive. So they do help attract the sun to us, okay? So in the summer, that isn't such a good thing in Iowa. As you can see, I'm really white right now, but so you want to make sure if you're using it topically on your skin, we're putting on at nighttime or sometime where you're not going to be in direct contact with the sun. So lemon's also a super good degreaser, so you can use it in a lot of cleaning things. There's great recipes to make your own cleaning supplies. And then the lemon vitality, I just had a thought about that. Oh, I actually, you know, if you ever like cut apples up and you're gonna maybe eat the other half later or something like that, I'll just put a drop of lemon in some water and dip the apple slices in there. And I have found them in the refrigerator 3 weeks later, not brown, and they were still tasty. So great way to extend the life of some of your fruit, which is awesome. All about saving money. Frankincense. All right, I have to tell you that frankincense is probably the oil I use the least out of the starter kit oils. And that's mostly because it's so expensive and it's so great for so many things that I kind of reserve it. So I will use lavender first. Like I said, it's a Swiss Army knife. But if there's maybe a desired result that I'm trying or something that I want, and maybe I'm just not getting the feeling that I want or something like that, we'll go with frankincense. Sherry and I both kind of call it this the big guns. You don't know what else to use, you've tried other things, just bring out the frankincense. It probably is going to do the trick for you, okay? Whether that's just, you know, putting it on a diffuser and having a calming environment. It's really great for times when you're meditating or praying. I know we'll use it at my women's Bible study, so that's really cool. And the frankincense vitality is just good for so many things, okay? So it's really, let's see, what does it say here? In a capsule or carrier oil to help support normal cellular health. So we're gonna leave it at that, something you might wanna research a little bit more on your own. But who doesn't want normal cellular health, okay? Wanna stay above that wellness line with our frankincense. Copaiba. That's what's missing from my kit. So Copaiba and Copaiba Vitality, we have both. Copaiba kind of gets a bad rap sometimes because there's not a lot of things that you're like, oh, I just use Copaiba. That's it. But one of the great things that Copaiba does is it's an intensifier of other oils. So, for example, if you're going to use frankincense for something and you don't have very much left or you want to make it last a little bit longer, you can kind of mix it with Copaiba or sometimes I will layer Copaiba on top of whatever I'm using. So I might put peppermint on my skin, and then I put Copaiba on the top of it to kind of help intensify that, make it last a little bit longer. And then Copaiba Vitality, kind of the same thing. I know Sherry mentioned one time that one of her boys wanted a little bit of Ningxia Red and just needed some support for certain area. So somebody recommended she put some Copaiba Vitality in it, and she was just amazed how much that really ramped up the Ningxia Red for him. So some of the great things about Copaiba are the products that it's in. All right, so that kind of can lead you a little bit to some of the things that it can do. So it's in Deep Relief. If you haven't tried Deep Relief, I call it the Gateway Roll-On because it's awesome. It's in Breathe Again. It is in Stress Away, Copaiba. Has its own shampoo and conditioner. And then it's also, this isn't on the slide because this is new, but it's also in the new product, Agilise. Okay, so Agilise is replacing BLM. And one of the main things that's different from Agilise to BLM is that it has Copaiba in it. So think about some of the things that we might be experiencing from Deep Relief, Breathe Again, Stress Away, some of those really good benefits. Those are coming from Copaiba, all right? So have to do a little bit of research on that one too, but it really is a great oil. And like I said, it kind of gets a bad rap because there's not very many things that you're just like, oh, Copaiba, but it's so useful. So DiGize. I'll tell you a funny story about DiGize. So this was the very first oil that I bought outside of the starter kit. I actually bought the Golden Touch kit because I wanted DiGize, and RC at that time did not come in the starter kit and it was out of stock, but it was in the Golden Touch kit. That's a really great thing to get going into fall, so take a look at that one. You get a bunch of oils in the 5 ml, which like I said, didn't used to be an option, but now it is. So we got DiGize. My husband and I were eating very strict for at least a month. We went to a concert up in Minnesota and really just needed a little bit of extra support. And I didn't have very much other things with me. And again, I'm kind of like, use what you have. So I got to the point, I kind of got a little cavalier with my oils, and I wasn't diluting them very much at that point in time because most things my body was used to. So I recommend when you're first starting oils, make sure you dilute, especially for your kiddos. But like I said, I kind of got a little cavalier with it and got home and decided I was going to put some DiGize topically on my stomach, and I didn't have anything to dilute it with. I learned my lesson. Okay, unfortunately, I didn't have any V6 with me, so I had to use lotion, which was the best I could do, but it was pretty potent on my skin. It worked, as the oils do. It was great. My husband will tell you this oil works as well. I love the name of it, especially the DiGize Vitality, because, you know, you just know DiGize. It's for digestion. Okay, it doesn't smell the greatest, so you might want to put it on the bottom of your feet. I've even put it on my navel sometimes. If I don't know where to put something, I'll put it on my feet or on my navel. Those are two great places to put things. Navel's your belly button. Sorry for those who aren't familiar. But yeah, DiGize is just, it's a really great oil, but it doesn't smell the greatest. It's the cardamom, I think, that doesn't smell good. So, all right, thieves. We could have an entire class about thieves. And in fact, we are going to do that next month, but we don't have that much time tonight. So many things you can do with these. First of all, I just love the smell. So the topical aromatic, thieves and orange are two of my favorite things to diffuse together. I also have a coworker who likes to diffuse thieves and peppermint, which I would have never thought to put together, but those are really great things. Thieves is kind of a hotter oil too, so make sure you're diluting this if you're putting it on your skin. But Thieves Vitality, oh, it's just so great. Very, very supportive of the immune system. All right, so this is one you might want to be stocking up on for the winter months to come. But you can put it in a capsule. You can put it in your water. My husband actually puts it in his Ningxia Red every day. Ugh. I don't do that, but he does. And you can also, some people put it in honey. There's some recipes out there for Thieves tea. I know Sherry likes to make hot water, Thieves Vitality, lemon Vitality, and a little bit of honey, and that's really soothing. So those are great ways to use your Thieves. RC. Oh, I'm so glad they put RC in the starter kit because it was not in the previous starter kit. It wasn't one when I joined, but RC is just great. So we don't have an RC Vitality. We just have the topical and the aromatic. So I'll give you some of the ways I like to use this. So I really like to use it in the winter months. And I saw actually it was in the product guide that my husband brought me. Thank you, thank you. There's a really great, it's on the page that RC is on in the blends, I believe. Let's see if I can find it here. Oh, no, it's not on that page. I wonder which page it's on. Anyway, it talked about getting Kleenexes and taking a box of Kleenex, putting it inside a glass box, and then putting a drop of RC in there, keeping it tight for overnight, and then you take it out in the morning and you've got the great smell of RC on your Kleenexes. Okay, so RC has like 4 different eucalyptus oils. It has lavender. It's a blend. Okay, so like you know from your starter class that there's blends and there's singles. RC is a blend, but it's just a great, great oil. Now, we are limited on how many RC we can get a month. Okay, if you didn't know that, especially if you joined in the summer, there is a limit. It's sometimes 2 and it's sometimes 1 depending on the harvest. So this is something you might want to be adding to your Essential Rewards in the summer. It's a great thing to stock up on because you do not want to run out of RC in the winter. Okay, we love to diffuse RC, especially in the winter. All right, Panaway. Funny story about Panaway. So I have a member in our group who actually, she was kind of in a pinch and really wanted some oils, and so my husband dropped off her kit for her before I actually had a chance to sign her up. So I went the next day and went through the enrollment process with her, but she's just a very hands-on go-getter, got in there, was like diffusing all of her oils, and she's like, oh, I just love Panaway. And I'd probably been a Young Living user for about 2 years at that point in time. Never have I diffused Panaway. The smell I actually like. It kind of smells like root beer. My husband doesn't like root beer, but I do. But Panaway is just so great topically that I never even thought to use it in the diffuser. And it's kind of expensive. So this little guy is about $30, I think, to replace, but it's worth its weight in gold, let me tell you. Very, very good for sore muscles. When you have occasional just kind of strain. I know Sherry likes to use it on her neck just to kind of cool down. Has helichrysum in it, which is really cool. So when you're using your reference material, your resources, helichrysum is just an amazing, amazing, amazing oil. I haven't bought it yet because it's really expensive. It's on my wish list and things just happen to always bump that, unfortunately, but helichrysum is in Panaway. So there was one time I can't remember even what I wanted to use it for, but I was like, oh, I don't have any helichrysum. And then I remembered that it's in Panaway, so I just used that. So that's really one thing to know. Look at what's in all the blends, okay? There might be something that you want to use. Like, for example, maybe you want to use eucalyptus, or you want to diffuse eucalyptus, but you don't have it. But guess what? You have RC, and RC has like multiple eucalyptus strains in it. So you got more there than you would need if you just had to pick one eucalyptus, which is really hard. Sorry, back on track. But Panaway, very, very good to soothe those muscles. Okay, this is one that's pretty hot. You want to dilute. It has wintergreen in it. That's why we have the safety cap on it. Little helpful tip there. So make sure you're using that. It's great. I like to layer Panaway and peppermint together when I'm putting it on my skin. So purification. If you haven't been to one of my classes, I'm going to share this story just because it's kind of funny, but my husband has the greatest story about purification. I'll make it short, but he was, unbeknownst to himself, transporting some old fish for my mother in the heat, in the summer, in August, in Iowa, and there was a broken down car of an elderly gentleman, and he got out to help this gentleman out of the side of the road and got back in his car, and it just, whoa, smelled like dead fish. And to make matters worse, we were leaving on a road trip to Texas the next day. So my husband got home and he's like, bring me the purification. So we actually, he calls it that he blessed the car with purification, and he did. We just like shook it all over the place. And then we actually diffused it on the way too in our little orb diffuser, which we'll talk about later. But that was just a great way to use purification. In my Facebook group, I just posted the other day, when I was doing laundry, my husband works out and sweats a lot. So I'm always get to the bottom of his hamper and I'm like, oh, some of his stuff is still wet from like, it's been sitting there for days and it's still wet and sweaty. So I actually took a cotton pad and put like 3 drops of purification, and his hamper has like a mesh in between the hamper and the bag. So I just put some, like 2 things of cotton pads with purification on it. And I went to go do the laundry the next time and I was pleasantly surprised. It really did help. And then I also, after that, I got a thought. We live out in the country and our garbage comes once a week. We have a big plastic thing on wheels, you know, and it sits in the sun, so it smells. So I threw a bunch of cotton pads with purification in there just to help make it a little bit better. I haven't been brave enough to put my head in there to see if it helped, but those are some great uses for purification. In the summer, purification is one you might want to look at. Again, we want to look at what's in some of these oils. So you can see at the bottom, this blend contains citronella, lemongrass. So, you know, again, we know, let's say you might want to buy citronella and it's out of stock, or you don't have citronella. You know, use that purification for some of those things you might think you want to use citronella for. All right, so Stress Away. This is kind of what started it all for me. Oh, I should have brought it. I just posted, I found my original Stress Away bottle the other day, and you can barely even read the writing on it. But, oh, Stress Away. It's what I have in my little diffuser necklace. It is my favorite. I call it Vacation in the Bottle. I love the smell. Love the smell. It's just enough for me, if I'm in a stinking mood, to be like, oh, that smells lovely, and then I forget whatever I was mad about, okay? It's just enough to distract me. I see Jones using that. I don't know if you're using Stress Away right now, but I like to put it behind my ear. Perfect. Oh, you got your rollerball on. That's what we're going to talk next. I think so, right? Yep. It's hard to see. It's really small on my screen. But I like to put a little bit behind my ears, on my wrists, and behind my neck sometimes. I love Stress Away. This was one that I shared with a coworker who was a little bit high strung. She had a wedding that she was helping plan. I think it was her son was getting married and there was some stuff going wrong. I'm just like, here, take my Stress Away. She loved it, and then the rest is history. But I just love Stress Away. Has vanilla, copaiba. Again, remember I said copaiba is just awesome, but it gets a bad rap. Lime, cedarwood, and lavender. So Stress Away. Awesome. They also have it in a roll-on that's already diluted. I use Stress Away straight on my skin, but some people might like the dilution, and that's really nice too to have in that roll-on. Okay, so like I told you, you get one Aroma Glide Roller Fitment. That's what these are actually called. I call them roller balls, but that's what they're actually called. You get one of these in your kit, okay? And I'm going to show you how to put it on your bottle, in case you didn't already know. I took a picture of the instructions, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove this little plastic piece here, okay? Hopefully you guys can see this. We're taking this plastic piece off right there. Just going to set it aside, and we're going to set the roller fitment in. This is how far my friend got when she's like, oh, if I turn that around, it's going to fall out and the oil's going to spill all over. But the secret is in the black cap, okay? I didn't realize this at first, but the black cap is actually deeper than the white cap. You see that? So it gives a little bit more depth for this roller. So we're gonna put it on, and we're just gonna twist it, okay? Gonna twist it all the way. Then we're gonna untwist. Voila, our roller ball is on, and we're not dripping out oil, okay? Every once in a while, there will be a little bit of variation, okay? So sometimes there's glass that gets just a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, and the roller fitment will not fit. So if you're trying it over and over again, you've gone through the steps, and it's just not fitting, you're not crazy. It's not you. Just try another one, okay? I keep my old bottles. This happened to Stress Away for somebody one time, and I'm like, oh, really want to make sure you can use your Stress Away. So I actually gave her my old bottle, and then the rollerball fit. So another really cool tip, how to get these off. So as you can see, we've got a little bit of black in the silver. we're just gonna put this sideways and you can pop it off, okay? I did it the first time with a knife. I was in my kitchen trying to get it. It flew all over, it bent the metal, and then I couldn't use it. So I didn't learn this for probably a year and a half, so really cool trick. All right, we better get trucking. I'm talking a lot. Ningxia Red. I regret to tell you that I did not drink the Ningxia Red in my starter kit for a very, very long time. And my husband and I had 2 kits because we bought another kit before Peace and Calming and Valor stopped being in the kit. So we had 4 packets of Ningxia Red. It was almost a year that we were in Young Living, and we hadn't tried it. I had somebody at work who wanted to try it, so I took it in. So make sure you're using this Ningxia Red. It is awesome, awesome, awesome. Super fruit puree. It has lots of antioxidants in it. It's pretty much supportive for every system in your body. Kids can drink it. Put it in the fridge. It's much better cold, but it's just great to keep in your purse. I keep it in my purse if I have a little snack craving. Usually this is just enough to get me through that till I can get home and make a little bit healthier food choice. So we'll probably eventually do a class just on Ningxia because it's that cool. And it has its own website too. You can just go to ningxiared.com. Essential Rewards. We're just going to touch on this briefly. If you're not already on Essential Rewards, this is an optional auto ship program from Young Living. And it's a really great way. Some people like to start it right away when they get their starter kit. They know they're going to be using a lot of products, and you actually build up points that you can cash in for free products. And the points are actually going up starting in September. So this is months 1 to 6, you get 10% back. Months 7 to 12, 15, and after 12 months, 20. Okay, that's what it is currently. But in September 1st, it is going up dramatically. So months 1 to 3 in September are going to be 10%. I think it's 10%. And then once you get to month 4, you're going to be at 20%. All right, how awesome is that? 20% points back. And then once you get to 24 months, you go up to 25%. I'm super excited about that because we're at 20% right now, and we will go up to 25% in November. So I feel like the points just rack up really fast. One really great way to use Essential Rewards is to transfer buy. All right, so hopefully you guys knew when you joined about just the amazing products that Young Living has, but it's a lot more than oils, okay? So take some time looking through your starter kit. Look at all the things that we've got: toothpaste, deodorant. These are really healthy alternatives to some of the things that you might already be using. Cleaning products, shampoo, you know, all sorts of things. So just skincare, which we have a whole class on skincare, by the way. Look at the YouTube channel. But just take some time with the starter kit, sit down, or the guide, sit down and look at some things that you might want to replace and maybe plan out, okay, this month I'm going to get this, about 50 PV. I actually have a list on my Faithful Drops group. I'll send that to Sherry so she can post it as well, of 25 different things that you can get on your Essential Rewards that are around 50 PV. So it gives you some ideas of things to put together. But you could really just kind of slowly but surely start replacing things that you normally buy at Target or something like that. Replace them with healthy alternatives, and you can save up points for some of those expensive oils like Helichrysum, which I still haven't gotten myself. But and supplements, that's a great thing. If you're already taking a supplement, Young Living probably has a really great alternative. And with the essential oils, you actually absorb it better, okay? So we're gonna do another class on supplements. I sound like a broken record, but we're doing lots of classes for you guys. But great thing to do for Essential Rewards. Okay, I don't wanna miss this. If you were in this room with me, you would really be laughing because I have 4 diffusers plugged in because I wanna give you some helpful hints, all right? So with the Dewdrop diffuser, okay, this is the Dewdrop home diffuser. I'm so sorry, home diffuser. Okay, so this is how we use it. On the inside, we're gonna fill the water up to the bottom line, the lowest line there. Ideally, you wanna use distilled water in here, but I've used tap water a lot and I haven't had problems, but the directions do say to use distilled water. So we're gonna plug it in. I'm just gonna pour a little bit of water here so it'll actually work for us. Because one of the things I didn't know for a long time, you've got different settings on this. Okay, so when we turn it on, our light turns on and we've got continuous. So we push that button again and we go to intermittent. Okay, when we're at intermittent, it'll last us about 7.5 hours. So this one is great if you want something all night long. And then this is the really cool part that I didn't know for a long time, and I didn't use it because it was too bright. We're gonna hold in that button and the light shuts off. How awesome is that? I didn't know for a long time, so I'm sharing with you. Some troubleshooting things. If it's not working, let it dry out, okay? There should be a little sponge you got in your box. You can clean the inside with a little bit of vinegar, and sometimes that helps too. And then clean that little ultrasonic plate with that or a Q-tip, and then allow it to dry. Don't forget, you actually have a 1-year warranty on your diffusers, okay? So if something goes wrong, make sure you contact customer service, and they usually will talk you through some troubleshooting things, but if you just can't get it to work, they'll send you a new one, which is awesome. That's why I want to make sure, in addition to having high quality, and these diffusers are meant to stand up to the potency of Young Living oils, but the 1-year warranty is awesome. So, okay, done with that diffuser. It's my favorite, by the way. I really am glad that it came back in the starter kit. Let's see, diffusers all over, because it's my favorite. That being said, I did buy the Dewdrop, and I do like it too, because this one is designed, just to use tap water, okay? So especially for those of you guys who are living out in the country, like we are, you can just use tap water in it. And this one's really easy to take apart. It's kind of a little bit, just put your fingers kind of in between this little list here, this little lid, and we just fill it up. And this one has a little red mark for us. So we want to make sure we don't go above the little, I got water in here, so it's hard to show. Oh, you can kind of see it. We don't want to go above that little red mark, so you know how much to put in there. And one other thing with the diffusers, like the home diffuser, the actual book says to use like 8 to 10 drops of oil, all right? That's way too much. Start with 1 and see how you feel, especially if it's your first time diffusing. You just want to start slow and go low, start low and go slow, okay? So just start with 1, work your way up. I hardly ever put more than like 3 or 4 drops in, and that's even when I'm doing multiple things. But the Dewdrop is great. The light on this also shuts off, okay? I didn't know that either. But this one only has 1 setting of continuous, so it only lasts for about 4 hours. So the home diffuser is a little bit nicer at night if you want to have it running the whole time. But there are some benefits to the Dewdrop as well, okay? So, like I said, I'm running out of room to put all these things. And I don't want to spill the water. Okay, put that one on the floor. Again, it has a 1-year warranty, same troubleshooting things. Okay, so the Bamboo, this one is really neat. It's just kind of pretty. It kind of just is aesthetically pleasing, and it actually covers a little bit bigger surface area than the Dewdrop or the home diffuser. So this is kind of the same thing. It comes with a little cover, which is nice. It has an arrow on it. I don't know if you can see that. And there's an arrow inside, and this one also has, let's see if you can see this, a little red dot there where you can see how much water to put in. So that's great. And this one actually comes with like a little funnel thing because it's kind of hard to get inside here. I really need to clean mine. I'm bad about that. But little funnel to get the water right in the right spot. So that's really cool. That's the Bamboo. It has 1 hour and 4 hour. And it also has a light that you can turn on and off. Let's see. Oh, I don't have this one plugged in. But one tip about the Bamboo diffuser, it's based on time. The other two, the home diffuser and the Dewdrop, they'll go until they're empty. But the Bamboo, in my experience, is based on time. So you might set it at 1 hour, and at the end of the hour, there's still water in there, okay? Or 4 hours, and there's still water in there. So sometimes you have to run it again. And it's just a little bit different. So I actually had a member who just always thought that it was never running the whole way, but that's really just how this one is designed. And again, you have that 1-year warranty, which is great. The Rainstone. I don't have the Rainstone yet. It is on my wish list. I'm gonna move this a little bit up, I think, so we can see it a little bit. But it's a lot more manly looking. So if there's a man in your life, this might be the one for him. I just had a male member join and pick the Rainstone diffuser, so I'm really excited to hear what he thinks about it. It has a multitude of settings, 1, 3, 6, 8, I forgot 2 hours you can set it for. Has a little LED light and a negative ionizer, and comes with a remote. How cool is that? Also has a 1-year warranty. This one's a little bit more expensive. Most people in their starter kit with the price, you pick the home diffuser or the Dewdrop. That's at the $160 price point. And then the bamboo is $10 more, but the Rainstone is quite a bit more. But I will tell you a helpful hint. If you're thinking about getting the Rainstone, just get another kit, okay? The Rainstone on its own, I don't remember how much it is, but it's like almost the same price to get the Rainstone in a starter kit with the oils and more Ningxia and another roller ball and the more samples as it is to buy the Rainstone outright. So that's just kind of a helpful tip, especially if they're running like a 10% off special or something, which they've done a lot lately. So something to look into. And then I just had another thought. Oh, when you buy the diffusers individually, a lot of times they come with an oil. So if you buy another home diffuser, it actually comes with tangerine and peppermint, little 5 mLs. So it's kind of nice if you're going to give it as a gift, then you have a couple little oils to give along with it. But I'd also look into just buying another kit if there's a lot of things you need to replace, because the home diffuser by itself is like $63. And, you know, it's like $160 to buy another starter kit. So, you know, that might not be in your budget, but something that you might want to think about when everything gets low. So just, you know, work the system and use what's going to be best, what's going to be a good fit for you. So the Aria, I also don't have this one, and I probably won't have it for a very long time. As you can see, it's a very spa-like experience. It's kind of like a globe. It's pretty big. I have seen them. It's probably this big. And it has that glass top. It has a multicolored lights. There's actually even a port that you can plug in your phone and play music. And I think it has a remote, yeah, a really cool remote control tool too. So one thing about this, Sonia Swan, who's one of our Upline Diamonds, said that she had this and her kids knocked it over the glass. So you can actually buy replacement glass, but she just put it away. So if you have kids or cats or things like that, this might not be the diffuser for you unless you can put it somewhere that they're not going to get to it. So the Aria as well, if you're thinking you're going to get an Aria, when they have a sale in the starter kit, that is the time to get it because it is discounted a lot. And then last but not least, the Orb diffuser. And this is super cute, okay? It comes with 3 little wicks. As you can see, it's probably about the size of a can of pop. It's a 15 ml that's in that picture there. It plugs into USB, so you can plug it into your computer, or you can also just, you know, get one of these little things like you have for your phone, plug it into the outlet. We use this in the car. When I talked about the dead fish story, we actually traveled with this. I take it with us because it's really small. For hotel rooms, it's great. But we had this, it sits in the little cup holder, and we were just diffusing purification on our way, so that was great. Okay, so this one has, on the inside, it has little wicks, and it comes in this little thing right here. So a troubleshooting thing for this, you want to make sure we soak this wick in water, because the whole thing needs to be wet so it can soak it kind of up to come through the diffuser. So I thought I needed to buy a new one. And one of my friends helped me and fixed it, and it was actually just needed to get soaked in water. And then my husband knew I wanted a new one, and in the meantime got me one for Christmas. So we ended up with 2, which is not a bad problem to have. But so this one has a continuous and intermittent. The only downside, and we're not plugged in. The only downside of the Orb diffuser is that the light does not turn off, okay? So light doesn't usually bother me, but sometimes it does bother some people if you're trying to sleep. So we're going to turn it on. And the blue is one color and the green is the other, and I've never really figured out what's what. I just kind of keep pushing buttons. But continuous and intermittent, and then we shut it off. So we can't actually shut the light off if we want the diffuser to go. But like I said, great for travel. It's also really great to share with. I know some people have given that as gifts for somebody just who wants a little diffuser somewhere else. Okay, so just wanted to bring your attention to the fact that there is a chart in your virtual office that this is actually only one of 2 pages, goes through all the different diffusers and compares all of them. So if you're like me or a green personality, you want to look at the data and make a good decision, you can just get that right in there. And it is in Member Resources, and then you click on Shareable Media. and that's where that's at. Okay, so we just have a couple more things to go over here. We're gonna go over a little bit on time. I apologize for that, but after you have your kit and we're using it, it's just natural that you might wanna share it, okay? So if you wanna do so, talk to one of your upline sponsors and we'll help you figure out how to do that. If there's people in your life, I know when I started using the oils and was having great experiences with them, and I was like, oh my gosh, this stuff works. I have all these people that I wanna tell about this, and they might not wanna hear it, but I wanna tell them. And just had a friend the other day and I'm like, I don't care if you use this stuff or not, but I'm gonna bring it to you. That way I know that you have it and I don't have to feel like I wasn't sharing with you, because I really think that this stuff, you'd really benefit from it. So love it, share it, repeat. Super simple, right? Okay, so a couple of things I wanna draw your attention to is the events tab in the Young Living website. Shows all sorts of different things that are going on. You can search for what's going on in your area. And then these are the Young Living sponsored events, the Ignite and Accelerate. Ignite is a intro class, kind of like what you might have gone to at first, but it's taught by Young Living, so that is great. If any of these are anywhere near you, make sure you get there, okay? You usually get percentages off on product, and they have awesome giveaways. Like at the Ignite, the first one I went to, I won a box of Nitro. That was really cool. Accelerate is more business focused. I was able to go to one of those in Minnesota this past spring, and it was great. And then they have the different Empower events, Raindrop, where you get to learn how to give a raindrop. You get to give a raindrop, you get to watch a raindrop, and you get to receive a raindrop, which is awesome. At the end, they split up all the materials, so you got like a third of a raindrop kit, which was cool too. The Empower Whole Life Wellness is kind of how to use products just in your everyday life. And then YL Fit event, which is actually coming to Des Moines this weekend. I'm going to miss it because we're going to be on vacation, but it is awesome. A little bit of exercise for anybody to do at any level and kind of show you how to use the products to enhance your wellness and your fitness routine, okay? Social media. So Young Living is, if there is a social media outlet, it's there. It's on Facebook. There's several different groups on Facebook. Young Living Essential Oils has their own. There's a Young Living page for each state. They recently started with regions. We're in the central region, so you can search for that. There is a conduct page. There is also a page just for Seed to Seal that you can follow, a page for the foundation, a page for events, all sorts of things. So there's also Pinterest. One of the things people have a hard time with is what's compliant, what's not, what can I share, what can I not. Just model what Young Living Corporate does, okay? So Young Living actually has a Pinterest. I just looked at it the other day. There's great recipes, great things to share, little tips. Also, it's great. The Young Living blog is amazing too. Make sure that you are checking that out. It's just youngliving.com/blog. You can actually subscribe so that when there's a new blog post, you get an email. So I love to read those. And then there's YouTube, Vimeo. I can't see the rest of those, but Pinterest, Instagram, and there was something else, and I didn't know what it was. I think that's it. Twitter. Oh, yeah, there's a Twitter account, too. So if there's anything that you're on social media, make sure to check out and see if there's Young Living. Huge plug for the seedtoseal.com website. There are some products of Young Living that have their own website. Seed to Seal, Ningxia Red, and I believe Thieves even has its own website, too. But there is a Seed to Seal class I just did last week where we talk about this more in depth, but this is what sets Young Living apart. I got the opportunity to go to the Mona Farm in June, and it was just amazing, amazing. And, you know, to know the standards that Young Living sets for our oils and our products just gives me a lot of peace of mind. So I love to read about that and be able to share that with other people. So check out that website. The foundation. Okay, so this is something I didn't know about very much when I started, but the Young Living does have a foundation, and it is amazing. So there's multiple ways you can give to the foundation. You can actually round up your order in your virtual office when you order anything. And they actually said if every member rounded up their order every month, I think it's like $500,000. So in 2 months, if every member rounded up their order just to the nearest dollar, we'd have $1 million. So the Young Living Foundation, all of that money goes straight to the ground. Young Living spends the money for the administrative costs. They pay the salaries. So every dollar that you're giving actually goes straight to Uganda or to human trafficking or multiple different things that Young Living has partnered with. You can actually go, just now there's a new Young Living website, and I think it's just, you might have to Google it, Young Living Foundation. You can sign up right there to donate. You can also go to Amazon Smile if you're not already using that. If you buy things off of Amazon, you just go to smile.amazon.com. You can pick your charity. So anytime you make a purchase, make sure you purchase it from smile.amazon.com, and then a percentage goes to whatever charity you pick, and Young Living is one of those choices. So it's just a great way to easily give money you are already paying anyway for anything you're getting, and give that to Young Living. So late in August, I'm super excited. Young Living just started doing mission trips, and a member here in Des Moines was picked out of like a huge amount of applications to go on a mission trip with the first Young Living Foundation mission trip. She is going to host a Zoom class for us on the foundation in August, so I'm just so excited for that. I've been following her trip, and it just, blesses my heart to see the effort that Young Living members are being able to do and impact the world. So, all right, that was a lot of information. A lot. Joan, I see you writing. It's making me smile. So we're going to go ahead and end the recording. Again, make sure you check out all of the different classes that we've got on the YouTube channel. There's tons there. We're adding another one every week. And if you have any questions, go ahead and send me a message, Kelly@faithfuldrops.com, or if you're in Sherry's group, go ahead and send her a message as well. If you happen to stumble on these videos and you're not in either one of our groups, whoa, hi, Joan. I don't know what I just did there. But you can go ahead and check with whoever shared this message with you, okay? I'm going to stop.